Thanks for tuning in to DebtBytes, our YouTube channel. I'm Michael Bovee with Consumer Recovery Network. And back with me today is Jeremy Golden from Golden Cardona, a law firm in California, and they specialize in consumer protection laws. We did a segment before about debt collection and credit reporting as it relates to debt collection usually. So be sure and watch that. We have a link up that you can go back and watch that. But today, I want to talk to Jeremy some more about his efforts in California, helping people rescue their home, helping people defend against foreclosure. And well, most people got a trial by fire during the recession, Jeremy, and California was like ground zero for a lot of that. Can you share with some of the viewers your experiences dealing and helping people save their homes in California?
Sure, yeah. We've been involved in this ever since the whole mortgage meltdown occurred back in 2008, and especially here in Southern California, have seen lots of people get their rights trampled on by a number of the banks, a number of the mortgage servicers, and so we've been really kind of helping people try to either get modifications if that's possible, or sometimes we'll bring a case into court, in the federal or state court, if the servicer has violated some of the different laws that are put in place to protect consumers.
So what are some of the ways that you found that people are, if they want to stay in their home, they want to be there, that they've been able to accomplish that goal, even after, say, they've gone without paying for 6 months or even a year? What are some of the ways that you know you can help them?
Well, one of the new laws that have been passed is called the California Homeowners Bill of Rights, and it's been pretty helpful for people. There's a number of different protections in there. One of the ones that we are able to use and that we see banks unfortunately violate from time to time is a requirement that if individuals submitted a complete loan modification application, they cannot be foreclosed while that modification is under review. Seems pretty simple. Fortunately, we've seen it from time to time where people who are pursuing a modification think they're going to get a modification, intending to stay in their home for whatever reason, right? People want to stay in there because the schools are good. Maybe they have an elderly parent that they're taking care of in the home and it would be really hard to move. Number of reasons. And so they're submitting the documents for modification. And while they're under the belief that they're being reviewed and possibly going to get a modification to save their home, next thing they know, foreclosure, right? They get the notice of sale, the sale auction takes place, and then the sheriff comes knocking at their door telling them they got to leave. So thankfully, there's been some laws that have passed that have given consumers the right to go into court, and they can sue. They can get sometimes up to a statutory penalty of $50,000. In some of these cases, too, if you're successful, the other side is required to pay your attorney's fees. So that helps too, where most of these cases we take on, Mike, the client is not going to pay us out of their pocket for the attorney's fees. We're going to take most of these on a contingency basis.
You know what? I should probably have brought that up in our prior video too, in that, I know that FDCPA claims, when you've got, unfortunately, still today, hard to believe, but it's hasn't subsided as much as we'd like it to. Debt collectors can still run amok and behave badly. Yeah. And when you guys do those cases, sometimes you're looking for cases where you don't have to charge the consumer and you can still protect them. So that's similar, right?
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember the last time that a consumer was paying me out of their pocket to pursue a FDCPA case. In almost every case, we get the fees from the other side if we're successful.
So same thing for foreclosure violations and or something related to the foreclosure process. Does it help to work through somebody in your office or somebody like you when somebody's dealing with a short sale and or some other hangover from wanting to get away from the home?
Yeah, we don't do short sales, but what we can help with is sometimes people who are that maybe they were under review for a short sale, or they thought that was going to happen, and then the next thing they know, the bank loses their paperwork, right? We've had that happen, or they somehow end up shredding the papers, and then they end up getting foreclosed. So really, anytime they get misled by the bank, there's going to be a remedy for people, because people rely on that, right? If they're told in the beginning that they're going to lose their home to foreclosure, they're going to do something that's going to help them. Maybe they can file a bankruptcy, or maybe they can sort of work out some way to get some payment for those past due payments. But if a bank makes them believe that there's going to be some other option, maybe a short sale or maybe a modification, but then goes ahead and forecloses, it really kind of leaves the consumer in a very uncomfortable spot.
Yeah, so that dual tracking that California, New York, great states that stay ahead of stuff. I wish states like mine would adopt some of these stronger consumer protections, but California's always been ahead of this stuff that I recall. If you've got somebody who is just now facing their first notice of default or second notice of default, they're still not sure what their options are, they're still not sure what they want to do, doesn't it make sense, because it's free to call you and talk to you, just to kind of I want to invite people to call you, if it's okay, if they're in California and they're struggling with their mortgage, to just kind of run their scenario by you and have you guys talk to them about, well, you can do this, 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 and see which one applies to them. And even if you can't help them, at least help them determine what the next step's going to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Feel free to give us a call. We can always, too, we can look over some of the loan paperwork. Sometimes people, the calculations are off, the escrow accounts, the impounds, and there's violations there. That it's good to have an attorney review and let them know what their options are.
Awesome. So let me give out your number. It's 619-476-0030. And then your website is goldencardona.com.
Yep.
Quickly, I just want to make sure that people understand, and I did cover this on the video, but I want to repeat it. I've been referring people to Jeremy Golden for over a decade, as part of the, consultations that I do with people. And California residents have, a great advocate in Jeremy. I have never had a problem with any, but everybody's always had nothing but positive things to say about your firm, Jeremy. So thanks for being there for people. Is there anything foreclosure, mortgage, short sale, or otherwise related that you want to close with?
No, I'll just say, the other thing that kind of touches on that is credit reporting. So people who maybe have gone through a modification or a short sale, their credit reports still aren't correct. So take a look. Anything like that shows up, and you feel free to get in touch with us on that. We can take a look at that and let you know if there's something we can do too.
Awesome, man. Hey, thanks again for being here on this segment, and I'm looking forward to some other issues that we can cover.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you.
Awesome.